Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie, and it's Thursday night. It's the best night of the week. It's the members live, and we've got a lot to talk about tonight. I haven't done anything on the Sebastian Rogers case for a little while, have I? Because it all started to get on top of me. It's still crazy, to be honest. There's still a lot of backbiting and a lot of this, that, and the other. But so there's quite a bit to catch up on in that sense. And there's the police are keeping stum still on the whole case. But something that's quite interesting that I want to show you from an original post by the police about Sebastian. So that's what we're going to talk about. Let's just have a look at him. Sorry, that beer, it makes me burp. Beer, anything fizzy. I'm not a lover of fizzy things, really, unless they've got vodka in them or some other sort of alcohol. But no, to be honest, I'm not. I'd rather, even if I'm having like a spirit, I would rather have vodka with a fruit juice or something than a fizzy drink. But anyway, so let's have a look at Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. We're going to just have a look at him. Then I'm going to come and say hello to you, and then I'm going to start, telling you the updates that I've got. So here he is, bless him. And this, of course, is don't know what the dog's doing out there. This is, of course, the thumbnail. Sebastian as a baby with his blonde hair. So cute, that picture. And my son had blonde hair when he was a baby, but he's dark now like his dad. But quite often people are blonde, aren't they, when they're little? And then it sort of changes. And there's Sebastian, of course, more or less as he was when he went missing. He was 15 years old. I don't think he's had a birthday since, so I think he's still 15 years old. Here's his dad, Seth. His mum, Katie, and tucked up at the back here is Chris Proudfoot. So, of course, it's been one drama after another, hasn't it, since poor Sebastian went missing back in February now. So has it been nearly 3 months, I think, since he went missing? Now, I thought, that he went missing. His mum had said that he'd gone to bed on the Sunday night. And when she went to get him up for school the next morning, he'd disappeared. The police are still at that stage where they're saying there's no suspicious circumstances. We're going to look a little bit now at why maybe they're saying that. Because maybe it's just that they don't have any evidence of any suspicious circumstances. Maybe it's not that they don't think, they just don't know, do they? So this is him. This is Sebastian. We've got another little picture of him here. And Sebastian, of course, is autistic. High-functioning autistic, they describe him as. So I think he was probably quite a handful. We've seen some videos of him at the bowling alley and at the American football or baseball or whatever it was. And, I'm sure he was a handful, but he was 15 as well. 15-year-olds are always a handful, aren't they? So, this is his dad, him with his dad, Seth. This is him when he was a bit younger with his snake. This is him again with his dad when he was little. Oh, I do like that picture. And this is him with his mum, Katie. So, as you know, from the very beginning of this case, there's been a lot of mudslung, not least by his dad, Seth, his biological dad, towards the mother and the stepfather. Everyone had hung, drawn and quartered the mother and the stepfather really early on. And everyone was very sympathetic towards Seth, the biological dad. I do think that's changed a little bit now because of all the drama of which Seth has caused a lot of it, to be honest, because he's been really quite vociferous on various YouTube channels, insulting Katie, or casting aspersions that Katie had drugged Sebastian, and blah, 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 blah. And then, of course, Seth has got this new media guy. We're going to discuss him a little bit tonight. Phony Tony, full of baloney, and also really quite a sinister guy in my eyes. I don't like him at all. I think Seth made a mistake taking Tony on board, because although he was supposed to be brought on board to calm things down, you know, and be the PR guy and make everything better, he just makes everything worse. He's a horrible man, actually, in my opinion. Okay, so that's the story so far about Sebastian. So since he disappeared, nothing's been seen of him. Nothing, nada, zilch. There was a sort of a false sighting of him up in North Carolina. Somebody, a young lad, very similar to him, and he is very similar to him, was photographed, and there was a big hoo-ha. Was this Sebastian? Seth said yes, he thought it was, but that was probably wishful thinking on Seth's part. Whereas Chris and Katie immediately said that is not Sebastian. Anyway, it definitely was not Sebastian. The police confirmed it was not Sebastian, but it was a genuine photo. It was not AI. And then the young lad's actual mother went on the Facebook groups to say, you know, this is my son, it's not Sebastian. I hope you find your son, you know, a direct sort of address, if you like, to Seth. Hope you do find your son, but this is not your son, this is my son. And that was the end of that. And really, that's been the only thing, isn't it? That has, there's been nothing else, no actual clues, evidence. There's been a lot of drama, a lot of mudslinging and this, that and the other, but no actual clues or evidence. So, you know, the police have got the work cut out in my... So this is the actual Amber Alert poster from the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. This was shown by Chloe. Now, remember Chloe, she's gone now, but she was one of the many private investigators that has been taken on by Seth and then got rid of. Basically, as soon as Phony Tony full of baloney came on board, Chloe was sort of, you know, disappeared, didn't she? Or she was let go, let's say. Now, if you look at this Amber Alert poster, though, it says an Amber Alert has been issued on behalf of the Sumner County Sheriff's Office for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Sebastian was last seen February the 26th in the area of Stafford Court in Hendersonville. What does that mean? Because he disappeared. Well, he wasn't. Supposedly February the 25th was the last time he was seen. And then February 26th, that's supposedly when Katie woke up, and he wasn't there. He wasn't at home. So when was he seen in the area of Stafford Court in Hendersonville, Tennessee? So I just wanted to look at that first, because that, you know, a lot of people are talking about that now. It seemed like nobody noticed it at the time. But yeah, what was that? Who saw him? Who saw him on February the 26th? No, was he? Is this why the police are convinced that he ran away? Was he seen away from the home? No, makes you wonder, doesn't it? Makes you wonder. So that's the first thing I just wanted to say. That seems odd to me. Then, next thing I want to look at is JLR. JLR are, you know, we like JLR, don't we? Another YouTuber, of course. We've been following him on various cases that he's done. I started following him with the Cavalcanti, the escaped prisoner sort of case, wasn't it? And then the Rachel Marine, and then since then I've always followed him off and on. Sometimes, you know, I do think it, especially in this case, so see, JLR, he took Seth's side virtually immediately. You know, he was very positive towards Seth. He was, you know, helped him out. Apparently, I'm going to show you what he says about that in a minute. Now, that's all good because Seth seems, I imagine that Seth is under a lot of pressure, of course. His son's missing, but then so are Katie and Chris. But Seth seems to just, you know, he seems to be reacting by lashing out at people who have tried to help him. He's fell out with so many people, especially since Tony has come on board, hasn't he? So since Tony's come on board, Seth has fallen out with so many people and he's lost a lot of the support, hasn't he, that he had. So we're going to have a look. JLR, of course, he was poorly, JLR, and he's been in hospital. And luckily, he's out of hospital now, and we're going to look at his latest video, first of all, before we look at other videos. And let me put that window down. Where am I? Where's it gone? Oh, there it is. So we're just going to have a look at this video, and there's just two little parts that I want to look at in this video that I think are important. Now, first of all, I just want to show the beginning of it, because that's when JLR was explaining how, you know, how ill he's been and, you know, what had happened to him. It's been quite serious. I mean, he's been in hospital. He's been in hospital. He had like a blockage in his colon. I mean, that is life-threatening. That, you know, I know that my mum had that many years ago and, you know, literally only just survived it. Because if they don't deal with it properly, it is very serious. Anyway, he's okay. So I just want to start off by showing that he's okay.
Hello. We got a lot of people in the chat. Good morning, everyone. Woo! What a week for me. It was tough, man. It was tough. Great to be back. Great to be able to be with all of you. JLR Army is stronger than ever. Man, I was hurting. I was hurting, folks. A few things I want to share here. First off, oh my gosh, the amount of support I've gotten from all of you. I made a community post, as some of you, most of you know, I was in the hospital, and you know, I put a post and said that, you know, I'm having issues with my stomach, and just the amount of feedback that I got from that post is just, it was overwhelming. It was amazing. I almost cried because there was just so much support. And it was this post right here had 10,000 likes and 3,800 comments. And I appreciate, and I read every single one of your comments, and I'm tremendously grateful for all of you out there for support and wishing me well and wishing, you know, me a speedy recovery. It was tough. My stomach was ready to explode. Like my stomach, it was just, you know, and I'm just talking a little bit because I have to make some lifestyle changes. You know, we like to drink coffee on JLR Investigates, but I think coffee has caused what happened to me, just drinking so much coffee, because, you know, covering these cases 24/7, 365, I drink a lot of coffee, and, you know, and actually
Hi, Heather. So, yeah, so he's been very, very poorly. You know, he basically has been poorly, but luckily it's fine. They've sorted him out. He didn't have to have surgery because he thought he was going to have surgery. So the reason why I'm showing you this, because, you know, it sets up for how nasty Tony was about him. When at the end of the day, he's been ill. You know, don't be... anyway, don't be nasty to people who've been ill.
My coffee intake was getting more and more up. So I would drink like 10, 15 cups of coffee a day, covering cases, staying up, the travels, drink
10 to 15 cups of coffee a day. I have 2, maybe 3 at a push. That's it. You know, you have got to be careful with coffee. Much as I love coffee, and it does keep you going. I think the trouble for JLR is, I mean, he literally is 24/7. You know, this is his full-time job, you know, and you could get carried away. I've had to sort of just step back a little bit, because you can end up just doing too much. And I don't even move out the house really, or not very often when I'm doing videos. But that's the trouble. It can take up your whole life. And you find, I mean, you know, this is a massive channel now, and I don't know what he's earning from it or whatever. I suppose he must, you know, but he's earning a wage. And, you know, the amount of work you have to put in, people don't realize the amount of work you have to put into, you know, people think YouTubers just earn a fortune, you know, and you really don't. Well, I'm not saying JLR, he probably earns obviously a lot more than me, because he's got bigger. What I'm trying to say is the amount of work you put into a channel is disproportionate for the amount of revenue that you get back. And it is, I don't care what anyone says, unless, you know, you've got a massive channel. It's not like what people think. So I'm sure JLR has got his commitments. He has to keep going. You know, whatever he earns, at the end of the day, you live up to your earnings, don't you? So having to have a week off or whatever in hospital, that'll have affected his not being able to do his lives, you know, not being able to do the investigations that he does, because he does go out and about, find out things, people tell him things, you know. So it will have been, apart from just being ill is horrible, it will have been horrible because, you know, if he doesn't work, he doesn't get paid, does he? He doesn't get sick pay as a YouTuber, does he? And I don't know if, I'm presuming he's got medical insurance. I hope so, because of course in America it costs you a fortune.
Drinking coffee, and then also getting a lot of headaches, so I would take a lot of Excedrin and stuff, and all that wasn't good on my stomach. And something happened in my stomach where they thought it was a blockage, but it wasn't a blockage, but my stomach just filled up to capacity. It literally had no air left, and so much that I was actually throwing up to get rid of things because I wouldn't digest, and it was just horrible. So I had to check myself in the hospital, and they immediately intaked me. And then, you know, I went through horrible situation. I actually got tubes down my throat, an NG tube down my throat. And it was a very, very horrible experience. They had to pump my stomach. They pumped my stomach, and they pumped everything out of me just to make sure.
Oh, imagine having to have your stomach pumped. Now, I've had one years ago. It turned out I had gallstones, so but I've had one of those tubes down my throat. Oh, God, it's horrible, isn't it? If you've ever had one, you would know when that goes to, oh, because, you know, you're just not, you know, your body doesn't want to swallow a great big tube all the way down to your stomach. It was absolutely awful, horrible. So he's been through that, and he's had his stomach pumped.
You know, my decompress the stomach. That's what they were doing, decompressing the stomach. So it worked, and you get all the fluids out of me, and it was a lot of it. And then they did some GI scopes to make sure there's no blockage, did a colonoscopy, no blockage. And good news, there's no blockage. I have no blockage. But man, I was hurting. It was very, very tough to have this in my nose. It's I don't know if you guys ever had a NG tube, but it goes down, and I kept throwing up because it kind of, the tube would be, you know, there, and it would mess with.
God, I didn't have to have it down my nose. That must be even worse. But yeah, so horrible. So he's been through it. Bless him. You can see it, I think, in his face. He's not his normal jaunty self, is he? So that is what happened to JLR. But of course, Tony don't know what happened. You know, why JLR sort of went off Seth, really, because after supporting Seth so much, Tony just seems to have alienated so many people. You know, so many YouTubers now have backed off this case. You know, big YouTubers like Pascal and, you know, because it's just got too crazy. And I don't know whether it's the advent of Tony. Tony has stirred it up. He came into it saying he was going to be the peacemaker, and and he hasn't. He's not the peacemaker. So then later he goes on to tell us about what Tony's been saying about him. Let's see. Oh, you get an advert here. I've got to sort my premium out. Sorry. Nothing I can do about it, really. I'll just skip it now.
Stephen Crabtree's team behind the scenes. And, you know, I think generally he's a good dude. I think his intentions are good. I have no ill will towards Stephen Crabtree at all. I have no ill will towards any of them. But we put out what, you know, Crabtree said. Crabtree says he's not dealing with Seth or team Seth and team Tony ever again.
Yeah, everybody's annoyed with Team Seth now. You know, it's like so many people coming out and saying they're not going to deal with him or help him anymore. So how has Seth alienated all this support that he had?
Team Sebastian, just like all of us are Team Sebastian. Some of you might be team people, whatever. Like, I'm Team Sebastian. But, you know, he used this guy Crabtree. Tony used this guy Crabtree to misinterpret his words or try to say there was surveillance of Sebastian on the 26th. That's not true. Tony's put out information that Sebastian was texting Katie's mom the night before he went missing, and he says he has the evidence.
He said all these things that aren't true, Tony. You know, that Sebastian had been texting Katie's mum. He came out with loads of things that just were patently untrue. He's just making things up as he goes along. I mean, what is his agenda? You know, what is his agenda? He's a very strange man, that Tony.
It's not true. I don't know what type of evidence he has, but the authorities say it's nonsense. It's garbage. It's complete garbage. He has pushed away volunteers. He has pushed away good PIs that were working on, you know, with Seth. He's pushed everybody away, and now he's coming at me. And I don't understand. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. But this is what he said the other day on his panel. And while he's saying these things about me, while he's thinking, he called me an S bag.
Yeah, so he called JLR a shit bag, an S bag. He's being polite. Sorry, an S bag. Actually said that. You know, it's really odd. He's really coming at JLR for whatever reason. Why is he? Why is he doing that? So he's not the only one, because he's alienated that Trev, not T-Rev, though he's another one who's sort of gone off the rails with all this. You know, it's all gone crackers. But Tony has started insulting JLR.
Called me an S-bag. While he's saying these things about me, he's using Sebastian's face. He's using, he's behind, he's on TikTok, and we call him TikTok Tony. And we call him TikTok Tony. For some reason, he likes to hang out on TikTok with a bunch of girls, and he does these lives that.
Yeah, he goes on TikTok. Everyone started calling him TikTok Tony because he'll go on and he'll just do a live. But lives on TikTok are not, you can't access them afterwards. So if you don't catch the live in the moment, you know, you can't go back and watch it like you can on YouTube. You know, if people miss this live, they can watch it. But TikTok's not like that. So he started doing these sort of spontaneous lives on TikTok using Sebastian's name, Sebastian's photo. If I was Seth, he would be in the bin immediately. I just don't know why Seth is. He upset Chris Proudfoot, didn't he? You know, he's just upset everybody. So even Seth's supporters is upset, and JLR was a supporter of Seth.
Really don't last, because once you go live on TikTok, you either have to screen record it, because once the TikTok live is gone, what you say is gone. It's gone. So he's on TikTok. He's under an account called Team Sebastian, and while he's using Sebastian's face, he's saying some things about me. I just want to share. Again, I don't necessarily take this personal. I just don't understand why he's saying all these things about me. And that's
his name is JLR, Itbag, and his name is JLR. And I want to send a message to him that he is an absolute.
Now, just want to say, how sinister is his voice? To be honest, I cannot even bear listening to Tony, because as soon as he starts talking, it gives me the creeps. I think he's very sinister. I think he's very malevolent. And just his voice just sends shivers down my spine. It really does. I don't know why, but it does. So sorry, let's just go back, listen to that again.
While he's using Sebastian's face, he's saying some things about me. I just want to share. Again, I don't necessarily take this personal. I just don't understand why he's saying all these things about me. And that's...
His name is JLR, Itbag, and his name is JLR. And I want to send a message to him that he is an absolutely despicable human being. He has made...
¿Cómo escapar del calor si no tienes aire acondicionado? Esto solo te llevará 5 minutos. ¿Cansado de habitaciones calurosas y...
accusations on Twitter that my client has had inappropriate advances, unwelcome advances on people. It's all over there, all over the internet. And I think it's despicable enough that these people are making money and not donating that money to the families, whichever family you choose to donate to. But I think when you start talking about other people's backgrounds with that kind of a background, and you start accusing a grieving father of stuff like that with no, as we say on TikTok, no receipts, I think you're despicable.
Huh.
And I think that there's probably...
As we say on TikTok, no receipts. He's trying to get down with the young people going on TikTok.
a good reason that you were in the hospital with a colon blockage, because you're full of shit. That's why.
So you're in the hospital with a colon blockage because you're full of shit. How nice. Do you know what I mean? This is the man that was supposed to be the voice of reason. He was supposed to calm the troubled waters, you know, because the case had already descended into a bit of, your pardon the expression, a bit of a shit show. And he was supposedly, you know, he came in saying, oh, you know, putting Seth in a collared shirt, trying to control him, trying to calm everything down, supposedly. And listen to him. Oh my God, unbelievable! And this is a grown. This is a grown man. You know, I don't know. He's about 60, is he? Shouldn't he know better than that, than to talk like that? My God, what an awful man!
So now that's out there for the world to hear, and you know, I think that karma is going to get people like you and these other creators that are out here running their mouths about a grieving father. One thing,
you know, the thing is, karma's going to get him. Look, it doesn't matter if he likes JLR or he doesn't like JLR or whatever. And there are some things that I don't necessarily agree with that JLR has said or whatever. But the thing is, it doesn't to mock someone who's been in hospital with a colon blockage, which is a very, you know, can be so serious, because if your colon ruptures, I know this because it's what happened to my mum. She was like literally had to be rushed down to the operating theatre. They were running down the corridor taking her, because if your colon ruptures and all, you know, all that poison that would go into your system, you know, your chances of survival are small. So that is what could have happened to JLR if he wouldn't have gone to the hospital in time, and something would have happened to him. So making fun of that is not what you expect from a 60-odd-year-old man, is it?
thing I can say to all you guys, and I'm glad everybody's recording, and I'm glad everybody is listening. One thing I can say is, if you are attacking a father that everybody knows had nothing to do with this, then you're despicable. And I can tell you guys that you can come at me all day, every day, and you guys do, and it doesn't bother me a lick. Matter of fact, when you're living your miserable lives, I've got one of the best lives money can buy, so you don't bother me a lick.
I've got one of the best lives that money can buy. One of the best lives that money can buy. Okay.
But you all keep coming at my client with this bullshit, and I've got a stack of papers on all of you guys. If you want to play games, if you want to attack a grieving father, then cowboy up. I'm ready. Let's do it.
Wow. Wow. I heard that and people were like, JLR, what in the world? So he must have been triggered or mad about this tweet that I made. And I made a tweet while I was in the hospital. And I said this. I'm told Seth Rogers has major problems with women. Abusive, controlling, harassing, obsessing behavior, unwanted advances. Many women that have worked closely with him during the Sebastian Rogers case have come forward about him. So it seems like Tony says I don't have receipts. And it says Tony thinks that I'm just blowing smoke. And why would I say this? Why would I say this? Well, I can tell you, I know 2 people that will come on the record. 2 people. I know 4. I know 4 females. 4 females. And there's probably more. I know 4 that claim during the searches of Sebastian, Seth would be more interested in getting into some of these females' pants than finding his own son, Sebastian. He would hit up on these females. And I know 2 that would come on the record. Now, I don't want to go that route. I really don't want to go that route because it's like people are like, well, it's not necessary. And what does that do? But for Tony.
Okay. So, hi, Mandy. So this is apparently what's behind it all. So we're not listening to the whole of JLR's video, but I just wanted to let you know because it sets up for something else that I'm going to show you. So these are, they are rumors, but he's saying he knows 4 people, 2 of which he needs to put those 2 that will come on the record then, because he has made that statement about Seth, and he should be able to back it up, with some evidence, of course. So then, so the reason that I wanted you to know why JLR was so angry with him and everything. No, he doesn't sound that angry with him. He sounds just surprised, that he's saying all these things. But then on another channel, I don't know if any of you have heard. Let's see. Some woman called Michaela, who supposedly, she says that Seth has been going around saying she's his girlfriend, and she's really angry. She totally lost the plot about him, and we're going to listen to that. Because she said, why are you telling people I'm your girlfriend? I'm getting all this hassle because you're saying I'm your girlfriend. I'm not your girlfriend, blah, 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 blah. So we're going to listen to that now. Just find it. The Ruckus video, this YouTube. So the YouTuber that we're going to look at, I have to give them credit. So this is Justice for, J is for Justice. She was the one that was showing this. And this seems to be something that's happened. I mean, I don't watch T-Rev anymore. I can't bear it, to be honest. And it just seems such blatant, Anyway, never mind. I don't like criticizing other YouTubers, but it's not for me. So I don't like watching it unless I think there's like a bit on it that will be important to something I'm doing. So she went on, I think it was on T-Rev's channel. And this, let's have a look. Calling starts. Let's see, where does it start? Where does it start? The argument. Anyway, this woman, I don't know if they ended up both phoning up. Michaela.
No, I don't know, Karen. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck's going on here with all these people. Like, did Seth really think that this
Let me go back.
about checking a certain spot, the way it was worded? Yeah. Love me some buttered buttons.
God almighty.
Thank you for calling in, honey. Give me a call. The phone line is back open, 72775.
Personal drama out there. I was on Bullhorn Betty's this morning, and I typed in a chat. I said Tony is a joke, and she went off on.
Yeah, there's all these different YouTube. There's Bullhorn Betty, there's T-Rev, Pascal, these American YouTubers, Cluminati and that, and they're all sort of, you know, arguing with each other and rotating around each other. But the only bit really I'm looking for is I want to just show you the, let's see. Oh, I don't know if you've seen this video. The Seth now
I
has
think I'm gonna
got,
start cutting carbs. I need to drop my belly fat.
If you want to drop this,
myself in, and I actually had to go home.
Seth now has got his own YouTube channel, and he put this video up, but he did put a disclaimer on it saying it wasn't allowed to be used without written permission. That's the only reason I haven't shown it. It's a little video of Sebastian at the playground, but he did put a disclaimer on it saying it was not to be used. But anyway, this YouTuber's using it.
It was too much.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So these were all for
Obviously, he's a lot younger there.
14 and 15-year-old kids. And they were supposedly normal. I mean, I don't know if any kid's normal anymore. I think he would be found by now, especially with the boots that have been on the ground. I'm very confident that they are competent individuals and they are out hardcore searching and they're not stopping. Sorry, Olivia. Thank you for the trigger warning.
I love this when he goes up and tags that girl on the back there, and then she turns around and he runs off. So sweet. It's very poignant, that. But yeah, I don't know. She might get into trouble for unless Seth's given the permission to play it, because he's says on his not to be used without express written permission.
Just one of those things. It happens. I just don't see Sebastian as doing that. Plus, if he used a QQ, wouldn't that be missing from someone's home?
Yeah, you would think.
And would they not have stated we're missing something?
Oh, right.
I mean,
So
I
I'm
would
going
think.
to fast forward it now and try and find this argument.
And it seems like he's playing tag.
And I'm going to tell you something. It's nothing but a crap pot. Everything is just going around in a circle, around in a circle, around in a circle. And I keep trying to pinpoint things that I see.
Like, you don't do that. So let's not do that. Secondly, the phone call he played on his own.
It could be something like that. It will speak about the cameras not being able to catch stuff at the house when it's stuck. They knew all of this stuff before.
Positive attention, because in the beginning he had so much support.
Can't find it now.
Oh my God. Really, Barbecue? You had to do this to me live? You had to do this to me live? Are you effing kidding me? Honey pots in the house. What? Oh, Lord have mercy. Did you see that? Do you see the light? That would be where you're looking diagonally, like we've been looking across the gazebo to the Proudfoot's.
Yeah, I don't want to watch all that. I don't like that. There's an
Look at that hair
somewhere. Hang on.
Could that be a red curly ponytail? I don't know. Look at it. Shit's flailing around, isn't it?
It ends, Mike. It does. These videos that everyone was talking about, to me, these still just look like amoebas. I can't see anything in these videos. Can you? Literally can't see.
It doesn't disappear. It just ends. It's a short clip, a very short clip. So Kaylee is the one that made this video, and she is saying it's the back porch area. And I think he thought he was being slick by not wearing long sleeves. He thought he did everything right. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'll tell you exactly what filter I'm using and how I'm doing it. All I'm doing is taking contrast and moving it from 0 to, let's move it up to 87. Well, the cops didn't
I think
say
you're
it was,
right, though.
it could
Whoever
be
said the head was
evidentiary
at
for
the
no
other
reason.
end.
That would make sense.
Looking for this argument. Where's the argument gone? I just listened to it earlier today, so I don't know why I can't find it on here now.
Prayers that Sebastian is found. Also, Caleb Harris.
I know.
Los productos mejor valorados a precios que te encantarán.
Oh, that's
Empieza a
been
buscar
driving
en
me
Amazon
mad
hoy
because I
mismo.
just literally listened to it.
And we do call-ins every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Welcome to the channel, everybody. If it's calling JLR a shitbag, what I do now?
They're fucking blasting me to people on Facebook. All these fucking creators.
So this is this Michaela, the one that apparently Seth said it. Well, he says he didn't say it was his girlfriend, but everybody is saying he did say it was his girlfriend, and she's having a right go at Seth. Let me find it now. There you go.
So, I'm really not trying to go after one parent or the other. I know people like to say sides, but we talk about whatever's going on. Oh, yeah, Tony called JLR a shitbag. That's right. Oh, it's back up, Kim Rice. Okay, thanks for letting us know. Yeah, Tony, I think it's laughable that he is calling JLR a shitbag, because the only thing that's different, like a couple weeks ago, TikTok Tony said, I've watched JLR over the years, and I've come to appreciate him.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, that dang old internet, man, click, 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 click. It's real easy, man.
The clickers remember everything. The clickers know. So if you say something, it's gonna be remembered. So a few weeks ago, he was like, damn, I just love JLR, because he was hoping JLR would pick up his shit, right? He was hoping JLR would be like, hey, buddy, come on my panel. Nah, it didn't happen. So now he's teamed up with Bullhorn Betty, and now JLR is a sack of shit. Okay, so that's the TikTok Tony crap. Exactly, boo. So I think that Seth got caught up in feelings and maybe thought there was something there wasn't. I hope that it's not any deeper than that. I hope that there was like nothing else nefarious going on.
I think Seth is desperate for a girlfriend. I think Seth is still in love with Katie. That comes over when he talks about Katie. We saw him when he was talking about the wedding. He got all choked up. I do think Seth is desperate for a girlfriend.
It doesn't sound like it. I thought that was funny too, Ben. Tony said, wait, hold on. He said, I gave JLR my address. And I was listening to, I think it was Queen Bee or Savage. I don't know, but somebody on their panel said, bitch, you ain't got to give him your address. He already damn well knew it, and your whole damn family tree. I was laughing my ass off. I'm like, he does not know the caliber of what he's dealing with here online. But yeah, so that was that. But the pew pew thing is very concerning. Why? First of all, why was Seth getting feelings when his son's missing? First of all, you would think you wouldn't be able to catch no feelings. And secondly, why are you asking someone that you met online to buy a firearm? I don't like it. I don't like it.
Oh, yeah, because this is another thing. So apparently Seth has been asking someone how he can buy a gun, T-Rev or someone. But I thought in America it was easy to buy a gun, but maybe not. I don't know. So that is quite creepy as well, because I don't think Seth should have a gun. Because to be honest, I worry not only about him necessarily doing something to somebody else, but he just does seem so. I think he drinks, Seth. I do think he drinks. I think some of the times when he sounds out of it, it's not his medication, or not only his medication. Maybe it's a combination. He shouldn't have a firearm because I think his mental state is not right, for having a firearm. But then, of course, he is a law enforcement officer, isn't he? Or he's a prison officer. Wouldn't he have a gun anyway? It's just so confusing, this case.
Oh yeah, JLR says not today. What has Tony done since
Where's
Michaela?
the argument?
She called Seth to set the record straight because everyone was like, dude, they're saying like I'm your girlfriend and I'm not your girlfriend. And it's just really weird. And I want to know what you guys think after you listen to this phone call. This is T-Rev and Michaela on the phone with Seth.
So, what the actual fuck is your problem? What do I do now?
What I do now?
They're fucking blasting me to people on Facebook, all these fucking creators on YouTube.
What are you talking about? Because I just got onto the computer.
Telling everybody that I'm your ex and I broke your heart and I fucking left you for Rev and blah, blah, blah. Sweetie Low or whatever the fuck her name is. Mm-hmm. Lauren on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Like, I called you last night concerned for my fucking safety because my...
Well, she likes the F word, this girl, but I think T-Rev lets it all play out because, of course, he's loving it because it's just giving him more views and more cash or whatever. Seth sounds totally spaced out as this. She's really shouting at him and he just sounds totally out of it, Seth, to me. He's the last person should have a firearm, in my opinion.
House is being blasted all over, my information, everything, and you're gonna go out there and tell people that I'm your ex and feed into it and make this shit even worse? Like, are you trying to get me killed?
You said Sweetie Low. Hold on a minute. You said Sweetie Low, and all it did was bring up Sweetie Low.
Dude, I can't even understand him, but why is she worried about getting killed? Like, what is going on here that anyone would be unalived over this? What's up, Kels? Hey, SW?
Like, are you trying to get me killed? For real? I have done nothing but help in any way I can for you to find Sebastian, Seth. And right now you're making it like you care more about a relationship and me and being obsessed with me than you care about finding Sebastian. And that looks like absolute fucking dog shit on everybody.
I'm on Sweetie Low. What is this?
Sweetie Pie Low.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and a bunch more people.
Yeah, I saw the card.
I'm getting it from every single fucking direction, and it's all saying it's coming right from your mouth.
4 years. No, I'm not even subscribed to this person. I don't know who this person is.
Okay, well, I don't know who you're subscribed to and who you're not, or who you're talking to, or whatever. But keep my fucking name out of the mess and keep my name out your mouth. I did nothing to deserve this, Seth.
Is it just me or does this feel like a setup? Why is T-Rev sat there with the phone like that? Like, what if he was supposed to be a friend of Seth's? I think Seth's being used left, right, and centre. To be honest, I do think he's being used. I don't, I'm not a fan of Seth's, as you know, and there's been something about Seth, but I do feel he's being used because I don't think he's like mega intelligent. Sorry, Seth, if you're ever watching this, but I don't think you are, and you're not seeing these people are using you like mad. Look at T-Rev sat there with the phone. You know, it just it's horrible.
Absolutely fucking nothing to deserve this shit.
You're calling me about what somebody else has already said. YouTube. I'm not even subscribed to this person. I don't know who the fuck this person is.
Okay, well, I'm here.
He says, I'm not even subscribed to this person. I don't even know who the fuck this person is. No, I went and looked. I didn't see anything on her channel on Sweetie Pie Low. And I know Sweetie Pie Low.
Look, David, I've just got to say, not everyone's crazy over the pond. Remember, I have a lot of American viewers as well. So you've got to be careful. You can't generalize about a whole country, you know, because it's just not fair.
I know Sweetie Pie Low. And I didn't see anything on her community. I didn't see anything on her channel. I don't know what the hell they're talking about. I really don't know, to be honest.
I've never even heard of Sweetie Pie Low. So half of these YouTubers that suddenly they're all like, you know, they're all sort of coming out of the woodwork. Every time I look at anything new on this case, I find another YouTube that I've never heard of. Sweetie Pie Low, never heard of him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Karen. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck's going on here with all these people. Like, did Seth really think that this was his girl for a minute? And then now is he being gaslighted? I don't know.
And from every which way that you're out there telling people that I'm your ex, and I fucking left you for Rev, and that I'm a piece of shit, and I only talk to you when I want information, and blah, blah, blah. Like, you and I both know the fuck that's not true. It is not my fault that I did everything I could to help, and it was not fucking appreciated whatsoever.
Okay, well, first and foremost, you calling me and bitching out of something I have no fucking clue what's going on.
Well, that's why I'm calling you to figure out what the fuck's going on and why you're telling people this shit, Seth. What?
Is it just me, or does this feel like a complete setup? I just think it's a setup.
Scream and yell at me, right? Is that what you're doing?
Nobody's streaming.
Screaming or streaming? I'm not screaming.
Nobody's screaming.
I'm not screaming. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. Literally, all my shit's out there, and you telling people, you feeding into it, telling people this shit is making it 10 times worse.
It was sent to me by so many different people.
You can't even sit there and take a deep breath in between accusations.
Well, it was sent to me by a bunch of people.
I have been on YouTube, and if I said it, I stated, I ignored your text message, T-Rev.
No, brother. People are sending that shit to me. I have no idea. I just passed the message along. They said that you're out there talking to them, so I don't know. I have no clue. Sweetie Pie Low and people on Facebook. That's what's being told. You're doing shit.
Right. So I think that's enough of that. I think you get the picture. So this is something else that's happened. What that's all about, I've no idea. To me, I just think he's been set up, and it's all about just, you know, why is T-Rev just sat there playing that, like streaming it and that? Has Seth given permission for that? Oh, do you know, this is why it's all so awful, this case, isn't it? Anyway, so that's another crazy thing that happened. Then, as if that wasn't enough, on another YouTube channel, an English YouTube channel, actually, this time, which I think Seth has been on this. Was it Seth or was it Chris Proudfoot? I've lost track of who appeared on which. I've lost track of who's been on which YouTube channel. But this is another YouTube channel that's been covering this case. And they've covered, I don't know if you've heard about the walkie-talkie. So what people reckon is that on Pascal, when Seth was talking on Pascal, now I've subscribed to this channel, what's it called? Crime Stories Obsessed. I think she's British, the woman. And as I said, I think she's had Chris Proudfoot on there being interviewed before. But everyone's talking about this interview that Seth did on the Pascal show, and people reckon they can hear a walkie-talkie in the background and some young person saying hello. So let's have a look or listen.
Crime Stories Obsessed with Emma Louise.
Emma Louise.
Hendersonville home on the 26th of February this year. So today I received loads of emails, messenger messages, all sorts of different messages, even on Insta, basically telling me exactly the same thing and asking me to go across to the Pascal show, check out a video which was titled Body Found During Search, one that had Seth being interviewed by Pascal, and to listen in the background. And what interested me then was the fact that it wasn't just one person sending me this message, it was various people. And so I decided to take a look, but I was told to listen to the background. So at around the 1 hour 35 mark, you'll notice, and this is what I heard, what sounds like, first of all, Seth's being interviewed by Pascal, but in the background you can hear what sounds like a walkie-talkie, and you can hear the psst, psst, you know, like a walkie-talkie sounds like. And then there was a little voice, and it came just after Pascal finished talking. I think there was something going on while Pascal was talking, but because he was talking, you couldn't hear what it was. And then Pascal stopped talking, and all of a sudden, a message came over on the walkie-talkie, and it sounded like a child, and it said, "Hello." I'm going to let you take a listen and tell me what you think.
The other events that they had that she and Sebastian did leading up to Texas Roadhouse. Do they have that footage?
Not that they showed me.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? I mean, it's, no, I don't know if it's been made up or what, but it's definitely sounded like a radio and somebody saying hello.
Not that they showed me.
What do you think?
Roadhouse. Do they have that footage?
Not that they showed me, because I didn't ask for it.
Gotcha. Gotta ask you though, because it for me it's like, all right, because that she and
he does say some funny things, Seth. It's like, you know, Pascal said to him, "Oh, did they have that footage?" And he goes, "Oh, I don't know because I didn't ask for it." How did he not ask for it? You'd ask for every bit of footage, wouldn't you? Just say some strange things, Seth. Honestly, sometimes I just wonder what planet he's on. But can you hear this? Do you hear this radio? And somebody, it sounds like somebody saying hello, or is it?
And Sebastian did leading up to Texas Roadhouse. Do they have that footage?
Not that they showed me, because I didn't ask for it.
Gotcha. Gotta ask you though, because it for me it's like, all right, because the timeline.
Heard something else then as well. So heard that it sounded like someone said, and then there was, now it could be the telly in the background. I mean, I have no idea what it is. I'm sure the police have looked at it. If they've, you know, I bet the police are watching up. Poor things, they've got to sit and watch all this crap on the social media just in case something comes out. Thank God I don't have to sit through all of it.
Not that they showed me, because I didn't ask for it.
Gotcha. Gotta ask you though, because it for me it's like, all right.
Yeah,
she and Sebastian did leading up to Texas Roadhouse. Do they have that footage?
Not that they showed me, because I didn't ask for it.
Gotcha. Gotta ask you though, because it for me it's like, all right, because the timeline.
I don't know that Seth knows any children. or speaks to children on a walkie-talkie. Not that I know Seth very well, and I certainly don't know what Sebastian talks like. So if you are...
Right, slow down the speed.
Hello?
Did leading up to Texas Roadhouse.
It just sounds so funny, like Pascal's drunk.
Do they have that footage?
That does sound like someone saying hello, doesn't it? It does sound like a young voice.
Not that they showed me.
Go back.
Have that footage.
Does sound like a voice. So what was it? Was it on the telly or is it a CB radio like everybody's saying? This is what people are saying. You know, and then I think you can hear something again. I'll just play it slow for a little bit longer.
Not that they showed me. That I didn't ask for. Gotcha. Gotta ask you though, cause it for me it's like, all right. Because
There's something else there. Let's try again.
is it for me it's like, all right.
Yeah.
Because
it's definitely something. I don't know what it is. I'm not saying that it's Sebastian, but there's something there. Sounded like a young voice saying, stop it, Tia. It sounded like somebody saying hello, but then there was another sound, you know, so very odd, very odd. All these things are odd, aren't they?
okay. The timeline.
I don't know that Seth knows any children or speaks to children on a walkie-talkie. Not that I know Seth very well, and I certainly don't know what Sebastian talks like. So if you are a friend or a relative and you hear this video...
So, yeah, there you go. What do you think? So that's the latest in this batshit story. Was that somebody on this? Was it, you know, I think Seth quite often has the TV in the background on. So it could be somewhere off the TV or something like that. You know, but I definitely heard hello. And then it sounded like another voice afterwards. But play it after this video's finished. You can play it back. You know, I feel like I want to listen to it one more time. But thing is, you could listen to it over and over again. We can't prove any of it, can we? Hello. She's behind me, I think, somewhere. She's behind this chair, isn't she? Hello, baby. Hello. Hello. I'm finished now. She wants some attention, don't you? She wants some attention. She's beautiful, aren't you? She's beautiful. Okay, that's it. I'm going. So, thank you again. Remember to live and love wisely and carefully. And, oh, Desi, happy birthday to your son tomorrow. Night, night. As Heather normally says, don't let the bed bugs bite. And I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, may your God go with you. I'm going to put my little video on. Where is it? There.